Crypto Hotep here with another trading video. Guys, I'm gonna take a brief change up on this video here, and I'm trying to make these videos more short and concise. So I'm not gonna run through any news events or anything like that. We're just gonna get into the charting because essentially that's what I started these videos for on the trading side, is to keep myself honest in terms of charting. So that's what we're going to cover. And then we'll look into the altcoin portfolio and get an update on that. Before I begin, guys, if this is your first time watching the video, go to the channel, subscribe, turn on those notifications. And as always, guys, this isn't financial advice. Please do your own due diligence when investing into crypto or stocks or anything that requires your hard-earned money. Okay, just because I'm investing in it doesn't mean you should, because I don't know your risk tolerance. I don't know any of your goals or anything like that. So please consult a professional. So, and the last but not least, let's shout out to Coinbase, the GOAT broker. So now with Coinbase, you can actually have part of your paycheck deposited into Coinbase, and it can trade or buy cryptocurrency free of charge with no transaction fees. So say for instance, you get $1,000 every 2 weeks, you can put 500 of that into Bitcoin, and that 500 purchase is not charged by any Coinbase transaction fees, which is a sweet thing. So they just implemented that today, just saw the news. So if you don't have a Coinbase account, go to the description. The link will be in the description. If you do have a Coinbase account, still use that link in the description, because if they charge you transaction fees and use my link to tie in the account, Coinbase will actually pay me a portion of those transaction fees that they charge you. So you don't have to open your wallet up to me. No pun intended. Hot or cold. If you know, you know. But you can still support the channel, support me by doing that. But with that being said, guys, we'll jump in here. So on the crypto markets have been a little odd as of late, but I will say this. Things are going somewhat as planned. So we have USDC, the stablecoin market. If you're familiar with these videos, you know I play everything mostly off of the stablecoins because that's where you'll see where the money is going. So as we saw here, if we look at USDC dominance, and we saw at around 3.5% USDC dominance in the markets, we had long wicked areas here. Okay, so long wicked areas means that hopefully a rejection was to come, and it did. The rejection came the week of April 6th, and we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles in succession of a bearish nature in the markets. That's what you want to see, because again, if stablecoin dominance is deteriorating or going lower, that means altcoin dominance should be increasing. They're usually inverse. Okay, so what I did was I drew my Fibonacci tool here from top to bottom very easily, and we have a golden zone between 50 and 61.8 right here. What I'm expecting is we have a dead cat bounce. So price comes in here. We have a nice little bounce here to make the bulls think that USDC dominance is going back up. So something like this. And then what I'm hoping is then we can get a rejection off of this downtrend. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see a breakout to the upside. We don't want to see that, because that means altcoins will continue to bleed out. So I'm expecting this. This is completely fine. Now, if we get this dead cat bounce here, there's going to be a slight decline in altcoins still. So there's going to be a slight decline because, again, they're inverse. But we need some sort of rejection back in this area. So we need rejection back in this area. You see slow stochastic is getting into oversold territory here for USDC. So something to keep in mind as well. So all in all, I think we're in a good spot. If you're holding alts, I still think you're in a good spot. We can go to USDT. USDT is very, very, very similar here. So USDT, again, rejection, high wick point here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles plus of bearish price action. and we have a fib golden zone. We have a slight bullish rejection, but nothing too big. And so I would like for Tether to continue going down this way, okay? So this is what I'm thinking. If that happens, the party's going to start, and hopefully we get a little bit of altcoin season here, okay? Let's go to the dollar as well. If we look at the dollar's stuck between a rock and a hard place here. It's stuck between 100 and 97 right here. You can see just a lot of ping pong action going here with the dollar. Dollar is meeting the 50-week moving average, which is this purple line here, and it is showing rejection there. We would like the dollar to come back down into the 97 mark here. Why? Because very similar to USDC and USDT, if USD, the dollar is decreasing, money is being rotated from that into something else, i.e. assets like stocks, crypto, metals, those type of things, okay? So we're still in an okay spot here, but we do want the dollar to continuously reject down here, okay? Let us go to, I did chart oil as well. So oil, just because we're paying these gas prices, oil looks very similar to USDC in the sense of it's rejected at a weekly supplier resistance that was established years ago, okay? So very similar. If we look here with oil, this market around 113, it was tested. It started, or I would say it was established in 2022. And then May 2022, it got retested. And then for all this time, for 4 years, it hasn't been retested until now. And as you can see, there's a long wick resistance area. And my rule is if there's a long wick resistance area near supply or demand, price is rejecting that. It may not happen all of the time, but most of the time that happens, especially if your slow stochastic shows that it is overbought as well. So as you can see, we have a nice rejection candle here for this week. And what I am expecting is we have a fib golden zone right here. Fib golden zone right there. Right there where price, we can see price kind of solidify right in here. I could see price and oil drop down in between 80 and 87. That would make sense, okay? Let's go to the king, which is Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't look bad to me, okay? I know that, again, social media likes to portray another type of picture, but I've said this before. Bitcoin's price reclaimed and broke this downtrend and reclaimed your 50 to 61.8 fib golden zone. Again, I know I'm saying that a lot, the fib golden zone, but it's applicable here. So it reclaimed this level, and now price is still sitting in this level between 79 and 74,000. Now, we probably could get some manipulation below 74,000, maybe some little price action right here to make it think we're going down. But I truly think we get somewhat of a rally base and then a rally up. This is what I'm still thinking. Now, if this totally collapses and we go back into the 65s, then I think it might be game over. You can pack your ball up and go home. But until we do that, I'm bullish all day. Okay, so Bitcoin doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. Looks like a trampoline ready to spring up here. ETH, we had a new demand / support level drawn out at 2000. So technically it's 1978, but we're just going to round up to 2000 here. So 2000 right here. I did keep this demand / support line even though price traded below it, because it started to wick through it, and it still holds value. So I'm still keeping this line unless 2000 collapses as well. Okay, so I'm still keeping this line here. 2000 is the new demand. It looks like it's going to tap into that. I still believe that a double bottom type price action or pattern, I should say, for Ethereum is still doable here, and it's still in line. It still looks good in my book, and no market structure shift has changed either way. Okay. What else? There was other, so Dogecoin was another coin I looked at. Dogecoin looks actually fantastic here. So Dogecoin looks very, very good. We had a slight break, very slight break in the downtrend, but it was rejected further. That's completely fine. What happened though is this common move with price. Price likes to trade below a key level of support and demand, and it just hangs around that area to make it think it's going to go down further. But no, it's not. It's just being manipulated down this area for it to pop back up. And this is what happened with Doge. So Doge traded a little bit below at around 9 cents, but then popped up above 10 cents, which is a key psychological level for Dogecoin, and it broke above it. So currently, it is retesting 10 cents. 10 cents, and this isn't financial advice, but 10 cents is a fantastic price for Dogecoin, and it's very psychological. And you can see here, we ran up from 10 cents in September 24. We ran up from 10 cents in September to December, all the way to 45 cents. That's a 4x. You can't really beat that, honestly. Okay. So I would say keep that in mind. We even ran up from, what was this? Looks like 7 cents all the way to even 21 cents. That was a 3x. So again, Doge kind of gets overlooked because people think it's over. Doge isn't going to hit $1 or anything like that. Look, is Doge going to hit $1? I'm not really sure. With these type of trades, though, with altcoins, you don't really want to marry these bags. You want to get your money and you want to get out. Dogecoin is one of those coins where you can continuously trade it back and forth because it has really good price action. I mean, some of these patterns are ridiculous. They just kind of pop out at you here for Doge, and Doge reacts well to price action. So it's very easy to trade. So Doge stood out for me a lot. What else? Let me see. Cardano, even though I'm not a fan of Cardano by any means, Cardano did stand out somewhat to me. It looks like it's kind of breaching and breaking down here past 24 cents or so, but it held up this level pretty nicely. It's still in a downward trend, still hasn't broken anything, but this surprised me with Cardano. Okay, the other one was Avalanche here. Avalanche surprised me as well. Avalanche has been just, look at Avalanche right here at looks like around $9. This $9 level of demand and support, that is crazy. It is just, price isn't collapsing, but it's also not springboarding. It's kind of just, going up and down, and it's not even going up and down that great, but it's still building this somewhat of a base right here at $9. So watch out for Avalanche, I would say. Not a bad level to buy in at Avalanche here. As you can see, October 2023, we went from $9 all the way to, we'll call it $50 here. That's a 5x very easily. Okay. And then let's go to some of the trades that we are in currently. So right now we have Uniswap. I have not sold anything on these altcoin trades. So all of my altcoin trades are spot crypto as well. And if you follow me on Twitter, I've posted all my buys on Twitter as well. But Uniswap is holding that 325 level. Looks like 325-ish level right here. Again, stuck between a rock and a hard place, between $3.25 and $4. Looks like it's going to be a lot of choppiness, and hopefully we can spring out of this. That's what I'm hoping. So nothing new there. I haven't added anything. Haven't added anything for Uniswap. Haven't added anything for C except at 7 cents, which we did cover. But it's kind of like in no man's land here. So again, we're just waiting on this. The biggest one though was Near. Near, we're actually in the green on Near. And I'll show you guys the altcoin portfolio stats via coin stats as well. But our near position is actually in the green. It's one of the only positions we have that is in the green. And again, this is a prime example of crypto and why I'm holding positions that are down 50, 40%, whatever, because it's nothing for it to just turn around on a dime. And this is what happened to Near, right? We bought Near. This was a bad buying pattern here, and this was before I held my certain rules about buying, and before those rules were established. This is how I bought, which was just kind of just chaotic. So when I implemented my rules that I have now, the more kind of strategic, smarter ways of buying, that's when we bought at $1.15, and boom, Near just spiked all the way up as of right now to almost $3 here. So here's my thought process on this. Technically, I would like to see Near at about 3 to 330, but I will not get out of Near until I see a bearish doji candle, as well as us being at overbought status here on the slow stochastic. And I'll give you an example. Something like this, okay? So we have a bearish doji candle followed by a couple red candles, and then pushed up, but then came down. So what I'm looking for is something like this red bearish doji candle here, or something like this right here. Something that basically is a change of pace from these green candles right here. But I think that Near has a little bit more juice left in the tank here. So we'll see. We'll see. But we are still holding. We're still holding Near. Graph looks okay. Finally. I know it's not a lot of volume right now. You can even tell by these candlesticks, but it is pushing up somewhat. We're at 20. We're still at 2 cents, but it's a higher level of 2 cents, 0.027 instead of 0.025. And then Aerodrome is very similar to Doge's chart, where we had the manipulation below a key level of support only to break out, reclaim it, and now we're retesting it. And so I think we're going to springboard here, and this is what we like to see. Okay? So again, all in all, guys, I think we are good. Don't believe everything you see on Twitter or social media about the markets collapsing and, just packing it in. I think there's a lot of good stuff that's coming out right now with crypto, but it's just taking longer than people want for the gains that we normally get. Okay, if we look at our spot altcoin portfolio, our 1 month return is a positive 12.12%, a 3 month positive 17.07%, and then a 6 month negative 15.04%. Our top position is no longer USD, it's Near, because of the price appreciation. So the price appreciation is so great with Near that it pushed it up past our USDC holdings. So we are actually in the green, as I mentioned, up about 2.55% in the green for Near. Again, my average buy is up there at $2.44. Then followed by USD, Aerodrome at negative 39%, Uniswap at negative 51%, C at negative 61%, and then Graph at a negative 55%. So all in all, guys, I think if you want my take on the markets, I think we're just playing it by ear here. I think until any more longer term market structure shifts in like Bitcoin and Ethereum come about, I think we're still in a safe spot for a nice bull run to happen. But I really think that too many people are going to get impatient and they're going to sell too early, or they're just going to say, hey, I'm done with crypto, and just be done with it. And usually that's the capitulation point, is usually when crypto says, all right, everybody's done, time to moon back up. So again, guys, if these videos were helpful, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. And as always, thank you. Happy trading, guys. I made it below 20 minutes. Great.